All right, get ready because today we're going deep into affordable off-plan properties in the UAE.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, we're talking luxury, but without that luxury price tag. And it's all thanks to the magic of buying before they even finish building, pre-construction.
Ah, I see.
Get this, we've got this fantastic article from a Swiss economist,
Yeah.
and he's like a specialist in the UAE market.
Nice.
So we're getting the real inside scoop on how to navigate this world.
Yeah, it can be a bit tricky,
It can be a little bit tricky for sure.
but also really exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Tons of potential.
Definitely.
So before we get all caught up in those, the fancy brochures and all that, let's break it down. Why is off-plan so hot right now, especially if you're watching your budget?
Well, the main reason is pretty straightforward. It's the price.
Okay.
Off-plan is almost always going to be cheaper than buying something that's already built. It's like early bird pricing before everyone else jumps on board.
So kind of like snagging a first edition book before it becomes a collector's item.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay.
And this is something that appeals to, well, everyone really, from individual investors to big corporations who are looking to diversify their portfolios.
Right.
The UAE market is, well, it's booming, so getting in early with off-plan can potentially lead to some pretty huge returns later on.
Okay, but isn't the UAE market also known for being a little unpredictable?
Ah, good point. You've hit on a crucial aspect here.
Yeah.
Timing is everything, and the article really stresses this.
Yep.
The UAE's real estate cycles, they're influenced by everything. Government policies, global economic trends, you name it.
So it's kind of like trying to predict the weather. You need to look at all these different factors.
Exactly. You need to have a really good understanding of what's happening around the world.
So let's say there's some political instability somewhere halfway across the globe. Could that actually have an impact on, my chances of getting a good return on an off-plan apartment in Dubai?
Yeah. It absolutely could. It's like a domino effect. Instability shakes investor confidence, and that could trickle down and impact demand in certain areas of the UAE.
Wow. Okay, so besides timing then, what else should I be looking out for, to avoid getting caught in a real estate whirlwind?
Develop a reputation. That's key.
Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't trust just anyone to build your dream home, right?
Right.
The article specifically mentions companies like Emaar and Nakheel.
Yeah.
They have a really strong track record, delivering projects on time and to a high standard.
So it's not just about finding the cheapest deal. It's about making sure you're not stuck with a half-finished building in a few years.
Yeah, peace of mind, trust, that's what you're looking for.
Right, right.
And of course, we can't forget the golden rule of real estate.
Oh, here it comes. Location, location, location.
They drill that into you from day one.
Hmm.
But honestly, with a place as fast-paced as the UAE, how do you even know which areas are going to be the next big thing?
Right, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, the article highlights some up-and-coming hotspots, places like Dubai Creek Harbor and Meydan.
Okay.
These areas, they're seeing massive infrastructure development.
Mm.
And that's often a really strong indicator of future appreciation.
So I should be looking for cranes and construction crews.
Yeah, think of it this way. Those cranes represent potential. New infrastructure often brings in residents, it brings in businesses, and that drives up the demand. And of course, property values go up.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. We've got price, we've got timing, developer reputation, location. Are there any other, hidden gems this article reveals about the world of off-plan?
Let's see. Well, something that caught my eye was the flexibility that off-plan developers often offer, especially when it comes to payment plans.
Okay.
They often allow you to make payments over time, which can be a lifesaver for your budget.
So instead of needing like a mountain of cash up front, I could spread out the costs.
Exactly. It's all about managing your cash flow,
Right.
staying liquid, especially when you're just starting out as an investor.
And speaking of making things easier, I've heard a lot about the UAE's long-term visas and those golden visas. Do those actually have any impact on the off-plan market?
Oh, they absolutely do. Think about it. Those visa programs offer stability and a chance at long-term residency. That makes the UAE super attractive to foreign investors, and that increased demand, that boosts demand for properties, including those off-plan gems.
Okay, so it's like a chain reaction. The government makes it easier to invest, that attracts more people, which pushes up demand, and suddenly that off-plan apartment looks like a golden ticket.
You got it.
Wow, okay.
And speaking of golden tickets, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, technology.
Right, right.
It's changing everything, including how we buy and sell property.
Yeah, it's like we're living in a sci-fi movie sometimes, but how is all this tech changing the off-plan game? Don't tell me robots are building the houses now.
Not quite yet. But the article does highlight how technology is bringing more transparency and data to the real estate world. Think AI-powered tools that can help with valuations, blockchain for secure transactions, and even virtual tours. It's amazing.
Hold on, blockchain for real estate. What?
Yeah, it's especially relevant for off-plan because you're essentially investing in a promise.
Right.
Blockchain can track payments, milestones, even ownership rights in a way that's super secure and transparent.
So it's like having a digital notary
Yeah.
following the entire process, making sure everything's legit and above board.
You got it. Building trust, minimizing risk, that's what it's all about, which is crucial in any investment, but especially off-plan.
This is blowing my mind. We've covered so much already, and I feel like I'm just scratching the surface here.
Oh, we've only just begun to unlock the secrets of affordable off-plan properties in the UAE. Get ready for even more insights as we dive deeper into this fascinating world.
I am ready. This is great.
Awesome.
I can't wait to learn more.
Let's do it.
Welcome back, deep divers. My head is spinning with all these off-plan possibilities.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, but that's what makes this deep dive so exciting. There's always something new to discover in the UAE.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about price, timing, location, even blockchain.
Right.
It's like off-plan is a whole different language.
You could say that, yeah, but once you understand the key terms and the strategies, it all becomes a lot less intimidating.
Okay, speaking of strategies, let's talk about corporations. What should they be thinking about when it comes to off-plan properties? Is it the same game, just with bigger numbers?
Well, not quite. Corporations, they have a unique set of considerations, and the Economist article really emphasizes data-driven decision-making for them.
Okay.
Platforms like his, they provide real-time market analysis, forecasts, even return on investment projections tailored for these large-scale investments.
So it's like having a crystal ball, but instead of vague predictions, you get hard data to back up your decisions.
Exactly. For corporations where millions, even billions are at stake, data is king.
Right.
It helps them minimize risk and maximize those returns.
That makes a lot of sense. But with so much data flying around, wouldn't it be tempting to just put all your eggs in one basket and just go all in on what looks like the hottest trend?
That's a classic mistake, and the article actually strongly advises against it. For corporations, diversification is key.
Okay.
Don't just focus on residential. Explore those commercial developments, too. Offices, retail spaces, the whole shebang.
So it's about spreading your bets, just like in any smart investment portfolio.
Precisely. But how do corporations even know where to invest? I mean, the UAE is a diverse place.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's where those data-driven platforms come in. They provide very specific insights into different sectors, different locations. They can help these corporations identify the most promising opportunities based on their specific goals.
It's like having a personalized roadmap to off-plan success. I like it.
Exactly.
But let's be real estate is notoriously slow and paperwork heavy.
Yeah.
How are corporations supposed to keep up with the fast-paced business world using those old-school methods?
Well, you've hit on another pain point that technology is solving. Remember blockchain, our trusty digital friend.
Yes.
It's not just for securing transactions. It can streamline that entire investment process for these corporations.
So less paperwork, faster deals, fewer headaches.
Exactly.
Okay, I like where this is going, but how does that actually work in practice?
Imagine a world where all those tedious legal documents and contracts are digitized, stored securely on a blockchain.
Okay.
That means no more endless emails, no more lost files, no more time-consuming verification processes.
So it's like taking that dusty old filing cabinet and launching it into the 21st century.
Exactly, but wait, the UAE, they're known for being pretty strict with their regulations, right?
Right.
How does blockchain fit into that picture?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Blockchain actually complements that focus on security and transparency because it's tamper-proof.
Right.
It helps ensure that all those transactions are legitimate and comply with the regulations. It's a win-win.
Interesting. Okay, so blockchain is like the secret weapon for corporate off-plan investment in the UAE.
You could say that.
Okay, cool. But it's not all about tech, right?
Oh.
The government also plays a big role in shaping the market.
Absolutely. We've talked about the attractive long-term visas,
Right.
but the government's constantly rolling out new initiatives to make the UAE even more appealing to those foreign investors.
Okay, like what? Give me the scoop.
Well, they're constantly streamlining those regulations, improving infrastructure, offering tax incentives,
Right.
all things that make the UAE a very attractive place to do business, especially when it comes to real estate.
So it's like this constant game of one-upmanship, the UAE trying to like outdo itself to attract those investors.
It is a competitive market, that's for sure. But That drive for improvement, it also benefits investors.
Right.
It creates a stable and predictable environment, which is crucial for long-term success in real estate.
Makes sense, but I have to ask, with all this focus on foreign investors, isn't the UAE neglecting its own people? What about affordable housing for locals?
That's an important point, and it's something that the article touches on. But remember, a strong real estate market, it benefits everyone.
Okay.
The government is also investing heavily in affordable housing projects for Emirati citizens. They're making sure they're not left behind in this boom.
Okay, so it's not just about those fancy skyscrapers for the super rich. There's a social responsibility element here, too.
Exactly. Sustainable development, social inclusion, these are becoming key priorities for the UAE. They're realizing that a healthy real estate market needs to work for everybody.
I like that, creating a win-win for everyone involved.
Absolutely.
But let's get back to off-plan investing. We've talked a lot about corporations, but what about individuals? Where do they fit into all of this?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. The article highlights this growing trend in the UAE. Increased demand for rental properties, especially in these emerging urban centers.
Wait, so instead of buying an off-plan property to live in, more people are buying to rent them out. Why is that?
There are a few reasons. The expat population in the UAE, it's booming, and a lot of them, they prefer the flexibility of renting.
Okay.
Plus, you've got all these new business districts popping up, outside the traditional hubs. The demand for those conveniently located rental properties, it's skyrocketing.
So it's like a ripple effect, more businesses, more expats, more need for housing. And that off-plan studio apartment suddenly starts to look like a cash cow.
You got it. For individual investors, off-plan properties can be a great way to generate some passive income through rentals.
But isn't managing rental properties a huge hassle, dealing with tenants, maintenance, all that?
It can be, but guess what? Technology's here to the rescue again.
Okay, what now?
There are all sorts of new platforms, new services popping up that help landlords manage their properties remotely, from finding those tenants, collecting rent, even handling repairs.
So it's like having a virtual property manager taking care of all the annoying stuff, while you just sit back and collect those rent checks.
You got it. In this trend of remote property management, it's only going to grow as more, millennials and Gen Z investors enter the market.
Right.
They're tech savvy, and they really value that convenience and that flexibility.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got data-driven corporations going big on blockchain. We've got individuals using tech to become remote landlords. This off-plan world is sounding more and more futuristic by the minute.
It's an exciting time to be in real estate, but before we get carried away with all these possibilities, let's take a step back and consider some of the challenges.
Okay, every rose has its thorns. What are we missing in this, rosy off-plan picture?
Well, one inherent risk with off-plan is the possibility of delays, even cancellations. I mean, construction projects can be complex, unexpected things happen.
So it's like waiting for that pre-order gadget that keeps getting delayed, except in this case, it's a lot more money and a lot more stress.
Yeah, exactly. That's why choosing a reputable developer, one with a proven track record, it's absolutely crucial.
Okay, got it. Don't be blinded by the flashy marketing. Do your research, pick a developer you can trust. What other pitfalls should we be watching out for?
Another one is market fluctuations. Real estate, it's cyclical. Even in a booming market like the UAE, prices, they go up, they go down.
So it's not a guaranteed return, even if you do everything right.
There's always some level of risk with any investment. But diversification can help mitigate that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right, spread them across different property types, locations, maybe even different investment vehicles.
Exactly. The more diverse that portfolio is, the less vulnerable you are to those market swings. And that brings us to another crucial point, understanding the regulatory landscape.
Okay.
The UAE is constantly evolving. It's important to stay up to date with any legal changes that could affect your investment.
So I need to, keep my finger on the pulse of the UAE market, even after I've made the investment. Any tips on how to do that without spending all day, reading legal documents?
Well, that's where those real estate professionals and investment advisors come in handy. They can help you navigate the complexities of the market.
Right.
Provide that personalized guidance. Think of them as your off-plan Sherpas, guiding you through this treacherous but rewarding terrain of the UAE real estate market.
Love that analogy. Okay, I'm feeling a lot more confident now. We've covered so much: data-driven corporations, tech-savvy landlords, the importance of diversification, staying informed. Is there anything else we need to know before we wrap up this deep dive?
Well, we've barely scratched the surface of the UAE's dynamic real estate market, But I think we've laid a solid foundation for understanding the ins and outs of those affordable off-plan properties.
Totally agree. I feel like I've unlocked a whole new level of real estate knowledge, but I have to admit I'm still a little curious about, the future, what's next, what trends are on the horizon, what's the next big thing.
Those are the million-dollar questions, and luckily for you, we have one final part to this deep dive where we'll explore those very topics.
Oh, cool.
You're ready to peer into that crystal ball of UAE real estate
Yeah,
and uncover the secrets of what's to come.
I'm so ready. This is exciting.
Let's do it.
Okay, deep divers, we're back and ready for the grand finale of our deep dive into affordable off-plan properties in the UAE. I'm ready for that crystal ball. What does the future hold for this market?
All right, well, no magic tricks, but we can definitely spot some emerging trends that I think any savvy investor should be paying attention to.
Okay, I like it.
One that's gaining some serious momentum is the focus on sustainability and social responsibility.
So it's not just about building those shiny towers anymore.
Right, exactly.
People actually care about, the impact those towers have on, well, the environment and the community.
Yeah, the conscious investors on the rise, and developers are, I think, starting to realize that. They're incorporating those green building practices, energy-efficient technologies, and amenities that really focus on the community into their off-plan projects.
So it's kind of like those fancy eco resorts, but in the middle of a bustling city.
Yeah, kind of, but is this just a trend, or is it something that's going to stick around?
Right, good question.
I think it's definitely more than just a passing fad.
Okay.
Global awareness of climate change and social impact is growing, and the UAE is no exception.
Right.
They really want to position themselves as leaders in sustainable development, and that's attracting a whole new wave of investors who, they want their money to do some good in the world.
So not only can I potentially make a profit, but I could also feel good about, contributing to a greener, more sustainable future.
Exactly, a win-win.
I like it, but let's be real, this is still the UAE we're talking about, a place known for, well, a pretty extravagant lifestyle.
Yeah.
Can they really pull off this whole sustainability thing?
Well, they are making some serious strides.
Okay.
The government is setting some ambitious targets for renewable energy and green building certifications.
Yeah.
And developers are starting to see that sustainability, well, it's not just good for the planet, it's actually good for business.
Wait, really? Aren't all those eco-friendly features expensive to, implement?
Well, they can be initially, but you got to think long-term. Green buildings tend to have lower operating costs. They attract tenants who are willing to pay a bit more, and they even command a higher price when it's time to sell.
So it's like investing in like a high-quality appliance or something. It
Yeah.
costs a bit more upfront, but you save money down the line and it just lasts longer.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that analogy. But what about the social responsibility side of things? What does that look like in real life?
It's about creating communities that benefit everyone, not just the wealthy few.
Okay.
Think affordable housing options, accessible public spaces, initiatives that actually support those local businesses and the culture.
So it's not just about building a fancy tower and calling it a day.
Right,
It's
exactly.
about creating this whole thriving ecosystem that helps the entire community.
Right. Yeah, building for the future, not just for profit. And I think smart investors are starting to realize this more holistic approach. It's not just ethical, it's financially sound as well.
Okay, I'm sold on the whole sustainability, social impact thing,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm also curious about the tech side of things. I mean, we've talked about blockchain and AI, but what other, cool tech is shaking things up in the off-plan world?
Get ready to have your mind blown because the world of prop tech is just exploding right now.
Oh, here we go.
We're talking virtual reality tours that let you experience your future home before it's even built. Smart home systems that automate everything. Property management platforms that make owning and renting, well, a breeze.
Wait, hold on. Virtual reality tours? So
Yeah.
I could actually walk through my future apartment, check out the view, try out different furniture, all before they've even, laid a single brick.
Yeah, that's the power of prop tech. It's all about enhancing the customer experience,
Yeah.
making it more immersive, more informative, more convenient. And for developers, it's an amazing tool to showcase their projects and really attract buyers.
I can see how that would be super appealing, especially with loft plan. You're buying something that doesn't even exist yet.
Right.
What about the smart home stuff? Is that just for luxury properties, or can, regular people like me get in on that too?
Smart home tech is becoming more and more affordable and accessible all the time.
Okay, good.
I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to control your lights, your temperature, your security systems, all from your phone, even when you're halfway around the world?
Okay, yeah, that does sound pretty cool, but I have to admit, I'm not the most tech-savvy person.
Sure.
Is all this prop tech going to make real estate investing more complicated?
Actually, it's doing the opposite. It's simplifying things, from property search and financing to management and even resale.
Okay.
There are tons of user-friendly platforms and apps out there that guide you through every step, even if you're a complete beginner.
So it's like having a personal real estate assistant in your pocket.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like it, but with all this innovation happening, aren't there some downsides? Is there anything investors should be, I don't know, cautious about?
Well, of course, every market has its challenges, and the off-plan world is no exception. One thing to always keep in mind is the potential for delays or even cancellations. Construction projects, they can be complex. Unexpected things happen.
So it's like waiting for that pre-ordered gadget that keeps getting pushed back, but this time we're talking about a lot more money.
Yeah, and a lot more stress.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why choosing a reputable developer with a proven track record is more important than ever. Do your research, read those reviews, make sure you feel good about their experience and financial stability.
Okay, got it. Don't be blinded by that flashy marketing, and always, always do your due diligence. What else should we be wary of?
Well, another big one is market fluctuations. Even in a hot market like the UAE, prices go up and down. It's important to think long-term and not panic if there are, some short-term dips in the market.
So it's like riding a roller coaster. There are going to be ups and downs, but you just got to stay strapped in and enjoy the ride.
Exactly.
Okay, I can handle that. But what about the legal side of things? Is there anything, I don't know, tricky about investing in off-plan properties in the UAE?
Well, the UAE has a very strong legal framework that protects investors,
Okay, good.
but it is super important to understand the regulations and, if you need to seek professional advice,
Right.
things like escrow accounts, payment schedules, completion guarantees, they're all there to protect your investment.
So it's like having a safety net in place just in case something goes wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. But with all this talk about regulations and legal stuff, it makes me wonder, is investing in off-plan in the UAE, is it even worth it? Is it too risky?
Well, like with any investment, there are risks involved, but for those who do their research, they choose the right developers, they diversify their portfolio, the potential rewards can be huge.
So it's not some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a strategic investment that requires careful planning and, a long-term vision.
Exactly. The UAE's real estate market, it has a proven track record of growth.
Right.
And the government is really committed to creating that stable and attractive environment for investors, for those who are willing to play the long game off-plan properties, offer an amazing opportunity to be part of this dynamic and ever-evolving market.
This has been an incredible journey. We've gone from the basics of off-plan to exploring these futuristic technologies to uncovering the secrets of sustainable development. I feel like I've gone from, real estate newbie to savvy investor.
I'm glad to hear it. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about this market, the better equipped you'll be to make those smart decisions and achieve your investment goals.
Well said. And to all our listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of affordable off-plan properties in the UAE.
Absolutely.
We hope you learned something new, and maybe you're even feeling inspired to explore this exciting market.
And remember, this is just the beginning. The UAE real estate landscape is constantly changing. So stay curious, stay informed, and who knows, maybe one day you'll be sharing your own success story with us.
Until then, happy investing. And from all of us here at The Deep Dive, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on our next deep dive into another fascinating topic. Stay tuned.